power back on. It's too big. I guess I'll need something pointier. I don't think there's anything here that would help me. Okay, this looks like something I can use to open the fuse box. That worked, thank God. Now, to get the power back. No power. I think I need to change all of the blown fuses. How did this end up here? Not much use without the rest of the code. Eugene, what I would give to have you with me right now. Your note will have to make do. How does Eugene do this again? Fuses. I probably need new fuses. Yes, this is what I need. Is there anything I've forgotten? Once I leave this floor, I probably won't be able to come back. Those few coins in my tip jar were getting pretty lonely. They'll appreciate the company. Hello? Is anyone in? Hello? I need help. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Montreal Police Service, Station 22.
There's a man dead. He's been murdered. I need the police.
Please stay calm, ma'am. Where are you right now?
The lobby, but the body, it's upstairs.
Can you give me the address, please?
Oh, 11 1178 Drummond Street.
All right, ma'am. Officers are on their way.
Thank you. Why does the VIP want to meet with Paul? Maybe he fell for his role playing and wants to hire him as a private investigator. Is this the brochure Beth was talking about? The one that came in the mail for Anne? So Anne and Marcella really are planning to run off together. Was what happened to Hector part of their plan?
Oh, hey you. Great timing, right? I'm thinking if we're lucky, Bernard will let us go home. No point in working in the dark. Sophie? Bean, you're not scared of the dark, are you? Hey, is everything okay?
I found Mr. Cruz. Hector,
Oh, you did? What was the bloke up to?
you don't understand. I found his body. He's dead, Beth.
Merde. Merde. Sit down, okay? You look like you're about to faint. Have you called the police?
Yeah, they're on their way.
What happened? Was there an accident?
No, I don't think so. Someone did this to him.
You mean... Merde. Do you think it could have been Anne and Marcella?
What about Paul? He and Hector were caught fighting.
The cops will want to talk to you. Know what you've seen. You need to be careful about what you tell them. If word of Anne and Marcella's affair gets out, they may put a label on them that will really hurt them. It might not even matter in the end if they did it or not.
What are you saying?
It's just... cops like to go after people who are different. People like Anne, like Marcella, like me. You know, I was barely 20 when I was shoved into a police car for just hanging out with people who made me feel like I wasn't so messed up after all.
What? Where did that happen?
At the White Cat. It's supposed to be a safe space, but it gets raided by cops every now and then. I know Anne was caught at least once, too.
Wait, you know her?
Yeah, that's how I knew the answer to the riddle. I've never talked to her, but I've seen her a few times. Marcella and her, they're just like me.
Thank you. Thank you for trusting me with this.
Maybe now you can understand why I care so much about you. I don't know if I'm feeling inspired by Anne and Marcella, or if it's the shock of being so close to an actual murder, but, I'd really like for us to be more than just friends, Sophie.
Yeah, I'd like that too.
That's... that's great. The police is here. Just be mindful of what you tell them, okay?
Yeah, of course.
Miss Roy? Miss Roy? Miss Roy!
Oh, sorry. I was distracted.
I really need you to focus right now. I don't want to be here all night, and I'm sure you don't either.
No. No, I don't.
So, as I was saying, we're trying to ascertain the circumstances of Mr. Cruz's death. Can you tell me how you came to find the body?
I was cleaning room 509 when I heard the elevator bell ring. Again and again and again. I thought maybe a child was playing with the doors, so I went out in the corridor, and that's when I saw him. All the blood and...
Why was the elevator bell ringing?
I'm sorry?
You said you heard the elevator bell ring. Why was it ringing? I assume it wasn't a child after all.
I'm not sure. I guess the doors must have malfunctioned.
A malfunction? Is that something that happens often?
Quite often, yeah. Eugene, that's our maintenance guy. He has to repair the elevator at least twice a month. We also have a lot of problems with the electricity and the plumbing. It's an old building, you know?
So I've heard. What did you do when you found the body?
I checked if he was still alive.
How?
I tried to find his pulse, but there wasn't one.
Did you move the body at all?
Move the... What do you mean?
We've found evidence that the body first fell inside the elevator, but was then moved out of it.
Oh, right. Yes, yeah, I must have moved him a bit to check his pulse.
Ah, that explains it then. What did you do after that?
Well, that's when the power cut. So I had to go to the janitor's closet.
To access the fuse box.
Exactly. I changed a few fuses and turned the power back on.
But there's a lock on that box, isn't there? Did you have the key?
No, I didn't. Only Eugene does. But I thought an Icepick might do the trick, so I went to the ice machine to get one.
You're a size 7, I suppose.
Yes, I am. Why?
What did you see when you went to the ice machine?
There was blood. A lot of it.
Did you touch anything?
I might have touched a few things, just to figure out what had happened to Mr. Cruz.
Of course you did. Why so many witnesses can't help but compromise the evidence is just beyond me. Anyway, what did you do after restoring the power?
I took the elevator down to the lobby. That's where I called the police.
Do you remember what you said to the operator? The exact words.
No, I'm afraid I don't.
You said, there's a man dead. He's been murdered.
That's possible.
What makes you so sure it was murder?
I just assumed. What with all the blood. It just didn't look like an accident, you know?
I see. Would you say you're an observant person, Miss Roy?
I think I would, yes.
Good. Then maybe you can help me fill in a few details about this case.
I'll do my best.
We've learned from one of your colleagues that the victim had a fight with a guest named Mr. Spade. What can you tell me about him?
He spent some time in a psychiatric hospital after the war. That's when he got into Mrs. Cruz's novels, and they really helped him.
Yes, I already know about his time in a madhouse. We called the place and they painted quite the picture of him. Did you ever see him display odd behavior in or around the hotel?
No. I mean, we've all got our little quirks, don't we?
Did he seem obsessed with Mrs. Cruz?
A little, maybe, but...
Obsessed enough to kill her husband?
No, nothing like that. We all have our obsessions. Me, for instance. I'm obsessed with celebrities and gossip magazines, and...
You don't seem to understand, Miss Roy. Mr. Spade is not like you and me. He may look like us, but he's not. He's dangerous and needs to be taken off the streets. So tell me, did you ever see him be violent or aggressive?
No, I didn't. I'm sorry I can't be of more help.
No, I'm sure you are. But we're not quite done yet, Miss Roy. The victim's wife, Marcella Cruz. Apparently she left in quite a hurry this morning. What can you tell me about her?
I don't know much. Only that she looks like a loving, caring wife.
Really? That's odd, because we learned a lot about Mrs. Cruz when we went through her room. And let's just say that loving, caring wife are not the first words that would come to mind.
Oh?
She's a lesbian, involved in some sordid affair with the guest from room 507, Mrs. Beaumont. Have you ever witnessed them engaging in immoral behavior?
What do you mean?
I'm asking if you've seen them being, intimate.
No, I haven't. No.
And did you hear them discuss their deviant ways in front of Mrs. Beaumont's son, perhaps? Imagine what kind of effect such perversion can have on a young child.
No, I didn't hear anything.
Did you hear them express their hatred of men? Did they ever talk about using violence against men? Did you hear them speak ill of Mr. Cruz?
No, I didn't hear any of that.
All right, then.
Can I leave now?
Yes, you can. Thank you for your cooperation, Miss Roy. We'll be in touch if we have any more questions.
Bernard was strangely chipper on the phone. That can't be a good sign. The atmosphere is so different in here. Will it ever feel like it used to? It'll probably be a while before the hotel reopens. Without Eugene, the lobby will be a swimming pool by the end of the month. Well, the rest of I'm not going back up there.
Ugh, go to hell.
Beth,
Hey,
are you okay?
I'm out of a job. But other than that, yeah, everything's just peachy.
What? No,
I hope you're luckier than I am. Come join me when he's done with you, all right? I'll be questioning my life choices on the mezzanine.
yeah, okay.
Ah, Miss Roy. Come in. I suppose you know why you're here?
I would guess it has something to do with the murder.
Well, you'd be right about that. We've been getting a lot of press lately, and not the good kind. I wouldn't expect you to understand the position I'm in, but I assure you, It's quite uncomfortable to have one's life's work blown away like that. All thanks to some sexual deviance and a nut job. It's obvious to me now that I haven't been firm enough. For guests of such morals to be comfortable booking a few nights here and committing such a horrid act. Things need to change. This means elevating our standards to the highest possible level, and it starts with the people working here. It starts with you.
With me?
Yes. From what I've heard, you've been quite the exemplary maid lately. Clean rooms, satisfied guests.
I take my job very seriously, sir.
As you should. We'll see for the future, but for now, you'll be allowed to continue working here.
Thank you.
I'm not done. The police have finished their investigation and left a mess on the 5th floor. I want you to clean it up.
You want me to go back there?
Yes, why not?
I found a dead body on that floor. I'm not going back.
I'll make this simple for you. If you don't do it, you're fired.
You can't fire me. Because I quit.
Sure. I fire you, you quit. It's all the same to me. Just make sure to empty your locker before the end of the month. That'll be all.
Hey,
Hey.
what a week.
Yeah. So, what did Bernard want with you?
Well, he was being kind of a jerk, so I quit.
You what?
I quit. I figured there was no point in staying if you were leaving.
I appreciate the solidarity, but you really didn't have to do that.
I think it's for the best. Did Bernard say why he was firing you?
Ugh. He was going on and on about keeping deviants out of the hotel, so I may have lost my cool a little.
A little?
I told him I was one of those deviants he was so afraid of. He froze for a moment, then showed me the door.
Well, I'm not one bit worried about you. I know you'll be just fine.
Yeah, I do have a cat-like ability to land on my feet.
And think of all the good times you'll have away from Bernard.
I'll miss annoying him. He turns into a particular shade of red that only I can get out of him. But no, you're right. It's time for new challenges. I could see myself owning my own establishment, one that caters to the right kind of crowd. Believe it or not, I do enjoy the company of people, just not, the stuck-up, entitled clientele of this prestigious hotel. But maybe if I were behind the counter of, say, a bar instead of a reception desk. I don't know. Is that silly?
No, it's not. In fact, you'd be perfect for it. You're the most charming person I know.
Thank you. I'm really glad you're in my life.
Me too. What do you think will happen to them?
Who?
Sorry, my mind wanders sometimes. I meant Paul, Anne, and Marcella. Do you think they'll be released?
Yeah, I think so. Paul will probably become a famed photographer. His portrait of you will be hanged at the Louvre, entitled The Inconspicuous Maid. It will sell for millions.
Is that so?
Yeah, and Anne and Marcella will ride into the sunset on the back of 2 Appaloozas, watching over their newly acquired ranch. They'll be constantly followed by their only sheep. They'll call him Paul, for old time's sake.
I like that. I just want them to be happy.
Me too.